Hey, I'm so glad you called. I can see what you were talking about on the phone. It's rather uneven, isn't it? Well, don't worry. I'll take care of you. We'll get it fixed. I think we might just strip it all off and start again. How long have we got? At least an hour. Okay, so absolutely no stress. How about you? I can see a little bit of anxiety going on there, so just take a few deep breaths. Okay, because I can fix this. We're gonna fix this, and you're gonna look great. Okay. All right. So I might just get some makeup remover, and we'll get started. Okay. You said you were doing an Inquisitor villain cosplay from Dragon Age. I absolutely love that game. As you know, I think that's how we connected as friends. Pretty much as soon as anyone mentions Dragon Age or Mass Effect and something similar, I get really excited and probably a little bit over exuberant, which I think scares people because usually I'm quite reserved. Got some little makeup remover pads and we'll get it all off, okay? Start fresh. So I'm fairly sure you've played all 3 of the games, yeah? Would you say Inquisition's your favorite? Origins? Yeah, I'd have to say that's my favorite too. It wasn't my first Dragon Age game. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it all off, okay? I played Dragon Age 2 first, and I think that has a very different feel to the other ones. What do you like about Origins? Yeah, I would agree. It has a stronger story, I guess, and more interesting, and you have a lot of freedom with how you play the character. You are a silent hero, and I do enjoy that the rest of your protagonists have a voice, but it does often offer a certain freedom. I'm just gonna add some more to the other side. With how you play, I still tended to play as kind of sassy, caring, but if there was a joke or a pun, you better believe I was gonna say it. And do you tend to favor elves in general? Yeah, I would agree. I think they're very interesting. How there's kind of a division. I don't really like all the prejudice and bias between the 2 divisions. It makes sense. I mean, the elves have kind of been subjugated by the humans, and the city elves live in slums, and the Dalish elves, like you're going to be today, it's all coming off. They live in forests and try and retain the glory of what they once were, but I don't think they get there. And that's a lot of what the tattoos, the Valesline's about, and I think that's the centerpiece of what we're doing today. I think what we want to do is what you were trying to do was more natural makeup, kind of enhance your features. So we'll do kind of strong but light eye makeup, maybe a lighter colored lip, so everything's enhanced and stronger, but the emphasis will be on the Vaseline. Yeah? And you bought a copy of what you wanted? Okay, good. It's easier on paper than from a phone. So you've got a lot of different examples. You wanted to go with the Methyl Vaseline. I think that's one of the prettier ones myself, and they sit quite nicely on the face. two options. So this one's just under the eye on the cheeks, and I think that's mostly what you had before. You kind of had some on the bridge of your nose, but it wasn't really working out, was it? And then this is kind of a more full face Vaseline. We can put some on your chin too. I think they have kind of like, it's like a tree on your face and the roots end up here. You don't want anything on your chin at all? Okay. So, did you want the full forehead going down the bridge of your nose? Yeah, I can do that. I mean, the issue will be symmetry, but I think I can get it pretty much symmetrical. Yeah, you willing to trust me? Well, it's a good choice. I'm sure it will go fine. We'll do the full face, forehead, bridge of the nose. Okay, so you're all settled down now from the makeup remover. What we'll do is put a liquid base on your face. I can see that you don't really have that many spots, unlike me. I'm hiding them currently. We'll just use it as like a good solid foundation for the rest of your face. And elves kind of have this kind of perfection where they have like really nice skin, and I don't think the men can physically grow facial hair. Or at least I don't think any of the elves in the game have facial hair. I'll use this to kind of give you a base. So you said you played the whole trilogy. And you like elves. So did you play as Surana or Tabris or Mahariel? I'm not entirely sure about the pronunciations of the last names because they never really say it, but yeah. I think all the origin stories are tragic and amazing, and they kind of, yeah, you can close your eyes if you want. Just feel it on your skin. I think the most brutal backstory is actually the commoner dwarf. That one really got to me, and of course the city elf one. But I played that one through. I played all the origin stories, but I've only finished the game twice. I played the alienage, the elven alienage, which is pretty much like a slum. As you know, as a male, and I think it would have been more impactful as a female elf, which I'm sure you know. I would say my headcanon would be Surana, a mage elf. I really like that story, and I like how it links Commander Cullen throughout the entire series. You can really see the development of his character in a sad, kind of great way. Okay. So what I'll do next is I'll put a layer of powder over that, and it'll help blend it out and just make everything look smooth and natural. Powder here. Okay. Yeah, I'm always disappointing Morrigan too. I love her. She's amazing, but her moral compass hasn't been appropriately aligned, shall we say. But I do love her, and she's voice acted amazingly. I can't remember Claudia Black. I've heard her in a few things, and I think she's in Farscape. She's kind of amazing. Yeah, well, you know about my first playthrough and how I got 75% of the way through and everything went horrible and I had to start again. I didn't physically have to, but I was broken emotionally and I needed a clean slate. Okay, just looking good. It's evening out. It's really nice and smooth. I mean, your skin's already nice as it is, but I guess it helps. It's gonna help the Vaseline really pop up too. See, you've bought me a green eyeliner, so that's good. I love the I've seen people's darker skinned Lavellans and they have like bright colored Vaseline and it looks amazing. Okay. That's that done. I think what we'll do next is the eyebrows. I've done my eyebrows today, but usually I don't bother. But I think it'll help pull the look together. So, I don't really have a proper eyebrow pencil or anything, but we'll just brush them out and I'll add some color from this eyeshadow palette just to take care of all the tiny little gaps. You've got quite full eyebrows, so don't really need to do too much to them. And I've got this. I have a brush set with like 24 brushes in it. Completely unnecessary, but apparently that's what we need to pull our face together. So I'm just gonna brush out your eyebrows. They're not really that messy, but I kind of caught them a bit when I was taking off your makeup. And just mix it up a little. I'm going to be doing this again when I put the colour in, but this gives me a nice framework to paint. Okay. Got a fine little brush. Just take a little bit from here, kind of colour them in a little bit. It should look fairly natural. I mean, people will be able to tell that you've coloured them in, but it's not going to look cartoonish. Okay, looks good. Yeah, I didn't play the series in order either. I played Dragon Age 2. Which I would say is the weakest game, but I still really enjoy playing. The combat in particular is maybe even the best visually out of the series. I would say my favorite relationship is probably female Hawk and Isabella. I really like how that relationship develops. I guess all the relationships kind of have issues, apart from maybe Meryl's. I mean, you might have your own personal issues with that relationship, given that she's a blood mage. She's adorable though, I love her, but I've never been able to commit to a romance with her. I like having her around though. But she bickers with pretty much everyone but Isabella and Varric. And, I like the names Varric has for everyone. I believe Meryl is Daisy. Sebastian is Choir Boy. Bethany is Sunshine. I think, does he call Carver Baby Hawk or Little Hawk or something slightly cutting like that, I'm sure. Your eyebrows are looking good. Framing your face very nicely. I think it kind of pulls together a makeup look sometimes, but I'm really just learning to fill in my eyebrows. It's apparently a really big thing to do. I'm thinking a very light eyeshadow look. I've got a big color set here. I'm thinking, I don't think it'll be too overpowering if we do kind of light greens, maybe a slightly darker green in the crease to complement the green of the Vaseline. Yeah, can you kind of picture it in your mind's eye what I'm going on about? If you don't like it, it should be fairly easy just to remove the eyeshadow and put a different color set down. Okay. I might just put a really light white down as the base. You don't have any primer, do you? No, I don't either. I really need to get on top of that. But this should last for quite a few hours anyway. You bought a really nice brand for the tattoos, so that at the very least should stay on all day. And you've got some kind of sealant. Okay, awesome. Alright, can you just close your eyes for me and I'll put this on the top lid. Varric nicknames. I think Fenris is probably broody. I know Isabella calls Meryl kitten. I don't know if that's specific to her though. I know Isabella calls pretty much everyone sweet thing. I'm just going to put a lighter green in there and then we'll have a few different tones, kind of create definition and dimension. Oh, and Anders is Blondie. There's probably a few others. There's some in Inquisition as well. I love that Varric appears. He's... what do they call it? I would definitely say he's my bro TP. I would love if he was romanceable, just so you could see a different side of him. I think that it would be fun. Plus he's a really great character and I really love that it was properly explored in Inquisition. Okay, so where is my angled brush for East? Oh, here we go. See? Angled. Having different kinds of brushes means that you're a professional. And so I'm just going to take this dark color and put it in the crease there. Okay. Close your eyes again for me. I think the nicknames in Inquisition are Sparkler, Fedorian, Iron Bull's Tiny, Cole would be Kid. I think he just calls Cassandra Seeker. Open your eyes for a second. Okay, yeah, that's really coming together. I might just put a little bit more on that one. It's a bit uneven. Anyway, I'm sure there's more, but I'm just rambling on here. Who do you tend to romance? It's usually a interesting question. I know a lot of people don't really bother with it. I know my partner hates it. He just refuses to romance people in Dragon Age and Mass Effect. But I think it kind of adds more to the story. It's kind of, and even the friendships and the rivalries, it gives you kind of a greater attachment to the story and the characters, and kind of also helps form who you are, who your character is. Yeah? I always thought that one was pretty cute myself. even that out a little bit. I've also done a playthrough as a male villain, which I didn't think I'd be able to do because I don't usually stick it out to the end with male characters if it's a game where I can decide to be male or female, because obviously I don't identify more with a female character. But I did a male villain and a romance Dorian, and it was a really beautiful, like, how the relationship was formed and how it grew. With Dorian's a very three-dimensional character. Like, he's not stereotypically gay. I mean, he comes off as kind of flamboyant and fabulous, but he's just really compassionate and giving, and it was just really nice to watch that, I guess. I also played as a warrior that time, which I never do, but I liked how in Inquisition there was the button to physically raise your shield, and because I think the other ones were just activated abilities, but and it was good you timed it, and I really enjoyed being a warrior, a sword and board warrior, but I didn't really expect that. But I think dual-wielding rogue is still my bread and butter. So I am losing complete track of myself. You should have done some kind of Call of Duty cosplay, because I wouldn't have talked your ear off. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just put kind of a thin line of this liquid eyeliner across the top of your lid. That's okay? Sounds good? Alright. I'm not going to make it too dramatic. I'm not going to add a cat's eye or anything. I don't want it to interfere with what the Vaseline that I'm going to put on your face afterwards. But actually, I might make it a little bit thicker so it's more obvious and kind of enhances the bigness of your eyes, because I think elves are kind of supposed to have big eyes. Do you have contacts? Yeah, they have quite large irises. Alright, so just close your eyes again for me. Just line those. I always have one eye looking better than the other. It's usually my right eye. I guess because I'm right-handed. My left eye is usually a mess. I used to not bother with this kind of thing, but I guess I'm on the bandwagon now. Okay. Yeah, no, it looks good. I'm just going to also put some on your lower waterline, just to further make your eyes kind of pop. Okay. I know that's kind of uncomfortable. Alright. And did you want mascara? I'm assuming yes. Okay. So, do you want kind of a lot or just a little? You've got dark lashes anyway, so okay. Not too much, but just enough. Pretty much the same amount that you want for anything. Alright. Just gonna have your eyes open and I'll just kind of zigzag it across it. Okay. I know this is uncomfortable. Have you played the Trespasser DLC? Yeah, that was quite a trip. I really loved that it was 2 years later. That's kind of my favorite thing in books. How the last chapter or the epilogue is just get a little bit more kind of set in the near, but just enough into the future that kind of the ending is taking effect and has a lasting influence. It's really nice to see what your characters were doing and how the Inquisition was faring. decisions you had to make. Some of the romances had much nicer endings than others. The ones I did, I think, had endings I was pretty satisfied with. I don't think you had as good of a time with it, did you? It's kind of meaningful though, and like the story it creates, even though it completely destroys you from the inside out. Do you tend to side with the Templars or the Mages? Yeah. It's a lot of mascara going on, but it's not clumpy. It looks good. I tend to like the Mages. I kind of like underdogs as a general rule. And I think they're kind of treated unnecessarily harshly. Of course, some of those reasons are founded in very terrible acts like blood magic and the risk of becoming an abomination, but you can't just lock people up for things they haven't done yet, you know? But I think the Templar quest, the Templar recruitment quest in Inquisition is one of my favorite missions throughout the entire trilogy. It's just so interesting. But so is the mage one. I think those two missions, you have to pick between them. I think they're probably some of the best missions in Inquisition in the main storyline. Okay, so we've done your eyes, we've done your eyebrows, we've done your face. We still need to do your lips, but I think I might go on to do the blood writings. Is this what your Llewellyn had in the game as well? I do think it's probably one of the nicer ones. I would never get the one that covers like half the face, but they all kind of have special meanings. I know this one is Mathal the Protector, and I don't know which one is which, to be honest, of the other ones, but there's... I can remember the gods' names. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but there's Andriel and June and Zalaise and Fenharel and Elganon. There's the two twins, Dirthaman. I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to get some of the lore books, like the World of Thedas and stuff, but I don't have the funds. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as a reference. I might start on the forehead, so we're gonna start down the bridge of your nose, okay? Just draw very careful lines. It's all going to turn out great, okay? Branch out to the forehead. Limbs on a tree. All the intricate branches reaching out. We've still got plenty of time, don't worry. You just need to relax. This is your first proper cosplay, isn't it? You've been to the conventions before. I actually haven't been myself. Every year I mean to go, but it never really happens. I'd love to cosplay, but I probably would forget to allot myself the time. Okay. Some mirror over there if you want to just quickly check that it's going okay. Yeah? Okay, good. just finish up some of the lines there on your forehead. But yeah, I think it's coming together nicely. It's I wouldn't say perfectly symmetrical, but it's coming together. I'm gonna do the ones underneath your eyes now. I think those need to be symmetrical more than the ones on your forehead. I know, I was so excited to play as a canary in Inquisition. I haven't done a full playthrough. I was so disappointed that I couldn't have long white flowing hair. I do think all 4 voice actors are actually really well done. But I much prefer the English female accent over the American one. But the English one definitely does not suit the Canary one. I would say it's a little bit jarring, kind of takes away the roleplay element. Okay. I think that's lining up nicely. I might extend the line down the bridge of your nose a little bit more. Okay. Do you like it? Yeah, it's I think you probably would have done a good job if you weren't so stressed. But I think it's all lining up pretty nicely. Obviously not perfect, but looks quite good. It's a very sharp colour you brought me. Okay. So the last thing we needed to do was your lips, yeah? Okay. I'm thinking we need something not too hot. I've got 3 options. You're welcome to borrow mine, it's not a problem. This one's chipped on the edge, but what's it called? It's called Apricot Glaze. It's kind of pink, it's got orange tones. It's kind of, it's not natural, but it wouldn't detract away from the main feature of your makeup look. I think this one's a bit harsher, more bold. It's more of a vibrant pink. Colour doesn't show up super well, but I don't think it'll attract too much, but it'll definitely draw more attention to the lips than the other one. Finally, this one's quite similar to the apricot one. It's in toffee. Again, just a pinky orange kind of colour. This one will do? Okay. So yeah, it'll more just bring out the colour in your lips more than anything else. Breathe in a little life to it. They're a bit pale from the foundation, so okay. Just rub your lips together. Okay. I'll just fix up the top part here. I always have to fill that in myself. Usually you might want to use lip liner or something, but this'll do. And honestly, it looks really great. I think as the main part is this, the other stuff isn't as important. Okay, so what do you think? You can have a look over there. You happy? That's so good. I mean, I'm not exactly a master at this kind of thing, but I think it came together okay. I think it looks really good, and oh, you have your elfies. You want a hand putting them on? Yeah, they can be a bit fiddly by the looks of them. They just kind of sit on top. Yeah. I can help you arrange your hair too to make sure they as you can see, they don't exactly naturally go on. But okay, just if you wanna just push your hair back, okay, and I'll just slip them on. Okay, one ear. Just brush your hair back a little bit. Okay, and there's that one. Okay, just pull your hair forward. Okay, that settles pretty well over them. You can't really see the difference. I can't wait to see the whole thing put together. Okay. I think it looks good. You look like Llewellyn. I mean, I know Llewellyn can look like anyone, but you definitely look like a Della shelf. Alright. Did you bring your outfit? Okay. Well, there's a spare room just down the hall if you want to go change in, and I'm happy to drive you. It's not an issue. I'll drive you over, okay? It's really not that far from here. Alright. Go get dressed, and you'll be ready to go.